Everybody eats.
You know, it's two different type of niggas now. Failure can make a nigga back into a corner and get depressed, or it can turn a nigga up. It's two different type of niggas out here. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So you got, as men, niggas got to pick which one they gonna be. Because you know, pressure hits some niggas and what they do, they fold.
They fold.
And then pressure hits some niggas and what they do, they get stronger. Man,
you know
anytime I see anything that I want,
yeah, and
somebody get it, oh, I gotta go harder.
Yeah.
If I can't afford it, I gotta go harder. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Money doesn't define me, but I'm trying to go hard. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Life has a lot to offer. So I want to take advantage of put niggas on money, you know what I'm saying? Niggas, everybody wants money, you know what I'm saying? So I'm always looking for new ways, new methods, you know what I'm saying? New ways to kick flavor with.
Let's talk about some of your entrepreneurship and how that plays into your music.
Since I was a youngster, I was always talking about, getting buying some commercial property or getting some houses, or, you understand me, just investing like even a barbershop, because, barbershops pay for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Things like that. Even because that's how the OGs taught me. They taught me that years ago. Take your little money, flip that thing. You know what I'm saying? Invest it in some property, get you a piece of the earth. That's why I said don't buy $85,000 car before you buy a house. You see, I said that many moons ago. Not 85, bro. Get a car, but not 85,000. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's a lot of Gouda.
And
that's a
trying to make it, man. Do shit on a major scale. Stand out. Do it on a major scale, man. Put yourself, don't just rap and be like, is that cool? When you go sit down and write your rap, man, I got to make this up there with the hard hitters right now. Jay-Z and all these other cats right now. Sit down from the gate, make your shit professional. You know what I mean? And the most thing of all is confidence, Cuddy. If you don't got the confidence within you, you gotta be kind of cocky. You know what I'm saying? You got to be cocky. If you ain't got any, if you ain't no clown nigga or no, you know what I'm saying, the type that like to show out, you don't got it in you, man. You got to be kind of cocky, baby.
Investment for life. See, the way I look at it, it's like a nigga who trying to hit the jackpot with investment, or a nigga who's so rich he could just try shit to make different revenue. Just to do it.
Right now,
it don't
I'm
matter.
on the jackpot. I ain't got time to be.
That's what I'm saying. But
we got time, but I'm saying
I feel your urgency though.
Yeah,
we got time, but we don't got time.
You just gotta level with it.
With niggas, you just don't know how long we got.
I swear to
God,
on my soul. That shit ain't like Drake. We gotta level the investment down to like, it is some money I can spare, and it is some money that I can sit and wait.
I said I'm even willing to give out half because I know I ain't tripping on the kickback. But all too much is like, I put myself in the hole trying to get rich.
It really depends on
straight already.
And then it kind of depends on how long this plan before we see the results. Like, you feel me? Then you could be like, either you gonna be pissed off or you gonna be like, okay, we weighing it out.
I've been trying to get raising things.
Yeah, you told me about that shit.
They wanted 45,000 and 5%. Why wouldn't I? That was like some shit that I blow to me.
Yeah, that's easy. Yeah.
But when I wrote it, they talking about no, it's only on the Midwest right now. So I'm like, no, let me counter it. I got 90 and 10%. I was trying to press it. I know I'm gonna make my money back, so I really want to check on that shit. First day type shit.
Easy.
Still deny me.
Yeah, bro. But you know what that shit comes down to too? Being plugged in with the right motherfucker.
You need somebody.
That motherfucker call a motherfucker like, yo. Let's make this happen. Yeah, that's a fact.
Cause I know I don't want to throw that bitch down.
We got the car wash right there off the freeway, like on 96, big ass yellow bill. He tried to get him McDonald's. He got M. He been had M's 30 years. Like he tried to get him McDonald's, but he like, man, if I would have got that bitch, man, I damn would have felt like them folks would have been like, I'm on probation to their ass.
Yeah.
Like they know you gotta do everything like they want you to be.
You can't fuck up.
Or you will be wasting money.
They was saying about the Chick-fil-A shit, like when you get that bitch, you gotta work, you gotta go up.
Yeah, they want you to work at that shit. Yeah.
Tell you.
Yeah.
The franchise, like the owner of the franchise gonna try to be like, make you know what he went through.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? And how hard it is to be.
Like, yeah, just about to get. I know you're gonna get rich, but no, you're gonna put this work in.
Yeah. What? Let's see if you want it. Pursue the happiness that fits.
With it all. I don't hide from it. I don't run from it. I don't avoid any of it. I'm fine. It's all right. It's a bed that I made for myself. I happily lay in it. And I'll be fine figuring it out, moving forward. Sun don't stop for nobody, man. Sun don't fucking stop. Sun gonna be up in the morning regardless. That sun is gonna be up in the morning regardless of how I fucking feel and how depressed I am. The sun is gonna fucking shine in the morning, and at nighttime the moon gonna be there. And you gonna look up, these days gonna keep going by. So do you let the days go by and look up and you done wasted a year doing what? Or do you just pick it up? All right, well, got to figure it out. Made some mistakes. Life goes on. Let me figure out life from this point. I'm a life goes on type of guy. And at the end of the day, what's my reason for the book? My reason for the book is to make people better. My reason for the book is to make people understand, yo, we all are great. We all should think that we're great. There's no reason for you to not think that you're great. If you don't think you're great, ask yourself why. Why don't you think the highest of yourself? When you do, people have no choice but to follow suit. You got no choice but to follow suit. I worked for it. Look at what I have that's mine. Monopoly is real, but you have to have the financial understanding. And I teamed up. I got Chase right now. We're doing something called financial fitness, where it's just about me educating people on money.
Really?
How to manage money, how to be smart with your money. But it's coming from a person that fucked up money. I didn't always understand it. I owed in taxes before because I didn't understand it in the beginning. I had bad credit. Credit cards wouldn't take me because I maxed out, whatever. I've been there. I've done it. Thank God I was able to fix it and get on the right path. And now that I have the knowledge, I want to give it. Because you simply don't know for you. The biggest problem within our community is knowledge. We don't know. Debt is welcomed because it's celebrated. That's all we know. Yeah, I'm going to get that credit card. I'm going to fuck that credit card up, and it is what it is. They got to figure that out. I ain't got it after that. Yeah, well, you know what? I'm getting student loans. They gave it to me. Then after that, shit, it is what it is. I'm figuring it out. And I put a cable bill in your name. You put it in my name. We can switch it up. Whatever. They do it. Then let's just put it in somebody else's name. It's welcome. The hustle is welcome. The knowledge of banks and what you can do or can't do is fucking, you don't even get it because you go to check cashing places. The reason why you go to check cashing places is because I don't want to go through that shit with the banks. I don't trust that. Go right there to check cashing place. Let me get mine. Let me get mine now. Take $30, whatever. Let me get it. The knowledge isn't given.
So it's I still was wishing the best of luck. I wish him the best of luck right now.
All right.
And you know, that's what it is, man. I told people straight up and down, people from Harlem are hustlers. Whether you sell clothes, whether you sell sneakers, whether you sell rap, whether you go to church and get the offering, you are a hustler, baby. We from Harlem. That's what it is.
Dudes is all right. And they cool in 5 years, because I'm good right now. I'm the chip. Whether my job ain't done, because I gotta make sure everybody else is good. So if I see my man Santana, Jim, Zeke, and everybody else living, they can say they can retire in 5 years, I feel like I did my job.
Like every day that I work hard for it, I'm getting closer to my goals and what I'm trying to really accomplish in this game. So, I mean, whatever it took, me and my brother, we was out there. I don't care, we did holes in the wall. We was from project to project. Wherever it had to go, that's where we had to go.
What is 100-something years ago when you slaves that affects us right now in 2024? And so, unfortunately, Latinos, blacks, poor people, even white poor people, have this crabs in the barrel mentality. And everybody want to be like, I'm the one. Not knowing that you greater with a team of people winning. I always loved that bar that Jay-Z said, if we fall, we be each other's crutches. Meaning, people think they want to be the one instead of having all your friends win. And when we need something or somebody, they can actually help us. If you the only guy winning, nobody can help you if you go through something.
That shit go fast.
Whatever
boy.
you make, whatever I make,
yeah,
I go ahead and take half of it. I put it in the bank.
Oh, my.
That's Uncle Sam.
Might as well.
Because
Yeah.
I pay my taxes quarterly. I got tired of writing $3-4 million checks at the end of the year. I said, "No, you take this. It's quarterly because it will hurt. It will hurt
Right
my
now.
pride to see that." I was like, "I got to pay that much." I'm like, "What the?"
Yeah.
So what I do is that, hey, whatever I make, I get 100,000, I get 200,000, I get $500,000. 250 go, or 100 go, or 50,000 go. I set that aside. Now, this is what I got towards my expenses. Because Uncle Sam got to get, he got expense. I got to pay Uncle Sam. He got a big old house. Yeah, he got a big old house in D.C., the big one. And then he got another building. I think they call it the Capitol. And then they got the Pentagon. And we got all them them stealth bombers and those, you know, them F-16 Hornets.
Oh, yeah.
I got to pay my part in all that.
Right.
I understand that. Also, Ocho, you got an agent. He'll get to, he'll get that. He'll get 2 to 4%.
Oh yeah.
So
most definitely. You know what's funny? If we had somebody, I think the casual fan, you have to be a player to understand. The casual fan see the numbers at the end of the day and think, oh my God, he signed for 250 or 300 or whatever it may be. But when you break down the numbers and actually you get that chop in half what Uncle Sam take, then you factor in your expenses. Then you think about what goes to your agent. Then you think about what you got left over. It shrinks significantly, regardless of what those numbers say going across that tick on ESPN. It's a different ball game. It's all smoke and mirrors. I'm talking about the real, like what you can touch.
But see, Ocho,
I had like 3 or 4 cars, and Dr. J says, how many of those cars can you drive at the same time? I said, what do you mean? He says, how many of those cars you got to drive at the same time? I says, 1. He says, well, why you got 4? He said, Chuck, this money got to last you for the rest of your life. He says, this money got to last you the rest of your life. He says, son, don't waste all your money on cars. Everybody know who you are. Wow. He said, if you pull up in a Kia, they know, oh, that's Charles Barkley. You pull up in a Mercedes-Benz or a Rolls-Royce, that's Charles Barkley. But the problem is that money, it's not the fact that you can't afford that car.
Right.
It's the fact that $300,000 you spent on that Bentley, if you bought a car for $70,000, $80,000, you would have had $200,000 more in the bank, and it would have been growing and growing, and then 1 year, 3 years, 5 years, 20 years, that $200,000 is going to be worth a lot more.
The question.
But if you know if you got the principles, if you know what makes a good business, if you know what makes a good manager, you know, if you know what makes a good product, and you learn that in one business, there is some transference to other businesses as you go along, and you learn what things you're not going to understand. I mean, knowing what to leave out is just as important as knowing what to focus on. And I don't think I can win every game. You know, somebody said, "How do you beat Bobby Fischer?" You play him any game except chess. So I don't play Bobby Fischer chess. And there's a lot of value to learning that over time and learning what you're good at and what you're not good at.
About the business of music because you couldn't.
Well, we were
that.
forced. Yeah, we were forced in the beginning. I wish I could say we were geniuses and said we're going to start our own company. You know, that's not what happened. You know, in the beginning, we went to every single label, and every single label shut their door on us. The genius thing that we did was we didn't give up. We didn't say, because these guys, you know, we use that what do they know approach. You know, we didn't give up at that point. I think that, you know, that was the genius thing we did. We started selling our own CDs, and we built our own buzz, and then the record company came back to us. So now we had a different negotiation. You know, it wasn't the same artist label relationship. Now we retain ownership in our own company, and it was the best thing for us.
In a sense, and that helped a lot. And I was always fascinated by it. I mean, I knew what I wanted to do early, and I think that's a huge advantage too. And then you don't need a lot of brains in this business. I mean, I've always said if you got an IQ of 160, give away 30 points to somebody else because you don't need it in investments. What you do need is emotional stability. You have to be able to think independently, and you have to be. When you come to a conclusion, you have to really not care what other people say, and just follow the facts and follow your reasoning, and that's tough for a lot of people. That part I think I was just lucky with. I was born that way.
Wow, I mean that's a hell of a question right there, and I think when we started to look at our endorsement deals as partnerships, I think that's when a lot of it started clicking for me. of saying, you know what, we're not just here to hold your product, or we're not here just to talk your product. We're here to work with you to how we can figure out how that product may look better on that bookshelf, you know, and how it can live sometimes without even me.
Exactly.
You know, and once we started doing that, and I started seeing us become more and more and more seasoned at doing that, I was like, you know, there's no reason why we can't start our own thing.
Yep.
To a point where we can have our brainstorming opportunities where if we come up with something, people want to buy what we got.
Of course, yep.
You know, and I think that's what a lot of it had to do with. And just to say that you bet on yourself and you started from the bottom.
Yep.
You started from the bottom and you've created something where you can look at it and say, wow, we did that. We did that. And we own that.
Yep.
And we own that. That's a really. But if he's willing to give me a $10 million check right now, what is it to say that Nike or Adidas is not willing to give me 20 or 30, you know, up front, you know, or to say that maybe the upfront money is not even the biggest thing, you know, maybe let's start thinking about the back end, you know, and, you know, I've always, you know, and that comes from, you know, my uncles as well, just, you know, never put all your eggs in one basket, you know, and give it an opportunity, give people an opportunity to say what they got, to pitch themselves. And, you know, we always say, listen, we're gonna hear all three companies. We wanna hear all three companies, what they have to say, you know, what's their plan. Figuratively, the bottom.
You know, there's a lot of athletes who talk about money. Like,
right.
You never really have that. Is that just a conscious thing you have, or is it something you don't want out there?
I think that just comes from my upbringing. You know, it's like, you know, my uncles always taught me, like, they was my savings account. They taught me how to have a savings account. So, you know, if they give me $1, they'd be like, listen, nephew, you know, go ahead and spend 35 cents of it and keep the other 65. You know, or if they gave me $2, they'd be like, you know, go ahead and spend $1 of it, but stash the other $1. So I'm always in my head about stashing and like keeping my money like, you know, sacred and to myself, because I didn't know when my uncle was gonna give me another $1 here or another 50 cents here. So I've always kind of had that closure about my finances and things of that nature.
Which is not always necessarily true. And at the same time, you gotta watch your money. There's so much funny shit in this game where a nigga could play with your money and you won't even know. I mean, as soon as I got in the game, I got a lawyer to watch my lawyer. That's just the way it's supposed to be played. You know what I'm saying? I speak to niggas that got money in the game and they let me know, yo, dog, it's a dog eat dog world. Niggas is trying to get as much as they can. And if you an ignorant motherfucker, they gonna thrive off that. They could tell you anything. And I've never been stupid. So, and especially with a whole big lump sum of money, I gotta keep my eye on that. So I just stay more in the business side of everything instead of being a nigga that's gonna get drunk at the bar and fuck all the bitches and just stay in hotels all night and just trick a whole lot of money. I stay home with my wife and watch my money. It's a lot easier that way. And you have a lot of money. Definitely. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to just be that straight dude. I done went through so much. You know, being in the streets or whatever, I done been through so much. My mom's done been through so much. It feel good to just have her at ease. You know what I'm saying? Knowing her son is cool and he ain't in the streets doing no wrong. He trying to make it happen. I gotta stay on the positive vibe. All my people's gotta stay on the positive vibe, you know? The negativity just brings failure, you know? And we ain't trying to fail in this game, we're trying to succeed.
Everything's still clicking, Lil' Kim is
hitting
them hard.
Yeah, I basically, like, that's how I really go down. When I started my album or whatever, you know, I was rolling with a bunch of little dudes, you know, from around the way on the corners or whatever. And I was like, yo, once I get on and get my foot right where I need it, I'm gonna leave the door open, put y'all on, and it's on y'all to bum rush it. You know what I'm saying? You handle it how you want to handle it.
Now, if you can do something to increase that value 50%, if you can learn to communicate better verbally or in written form, and you become 50% more, that's $500,000 just by improving yourself. I mean, nobody can take that away from you. And so I urge everybody, you know, when I talk to them in high school about this and colleges, just develop the habits. You've got the brain power, you got the energy, but develop the habits of success and look around you at the people that you admire. You know, and list what makes you admire them compared to somebody else that looks equally strong or equally talented. And those are things that you can do. I mean, just write them down. And you know, people like people that they like them if they're humorous, if they're friendly, if they're.
I don't think people understand. If you can't budget 1,000 and make it stretch, then you won't be able to budget 5,000. If you can't budget 5, you won't be able to budget 10,000. So if you get $1 million and you get millions, it's still the same. If there's no financial discipline, the same thing continues to happen. It's just a cycle. It's a cycle. And listen, they don't mind paying you $200 million because you know in the back of their mind, you know what? We're gonna get it all back anyway. It's going right back. It's going right back into the system. It's going right back into the system.
Yeah.
Name alone was just as big as anything else, where no matter where I went, well, they already know who it was. So what's the point of me driving that? We already know who I am. And for one, when it comes to women during that time, what you impressing them for? Because they already Google how much you're making. So already know you're rich, so they're gonna deal with you anyway.
Yeah.
Everybody done did their homework. Everybody done did their homework. So there's no reason to dry that. There's no reason to know where it is. Because they know what's coming in. They know what's in your pocket. Enjoy yourself. Because that's at some point, when them checks stop rolling in, you find yourself in situations like this.
Yeah.
For me, it hit me real early, and I got on that cheap shit, driving that ugly ass smart car everybody make fun of. I've been driving that bitch the past 16 years. I'm on my 5th one. Everybody be laughing, hell. I'm gonna be living the same lifestyle I was living in 2004 when I was making $8-9 million a year. I'm gonna be living the same lifestyle when I'm 60. Same thing.
For sure.
Same shit.
I have 50,000 in savings. This whole thing that happened, if you don't put a plan together for you, your wife, your kids, your family, where you're going to be in 4 years, it's a waste of an opportunity. It means nothing. It's just a guy who won, who's celebrating. A lot of people are capitalizing off of it. And if you sit around in 2028, you're in the same position as you are today, this was a wasted opportunity for you. Everything is now about planning, capitalizing, and finding a way to recreating yourself. So by 2028, when you look back and it goes like this, you say, man, I'm glad I capitalized off of that, because the reality of it is, you know how many people won't? 90% of people won't do anything. They'll be in the same place. You can lower taxes. You can raise every opportunity. There's going to be 90% of people that are going to do nothing with it. My challenge to you is to be part of the 10%. And for some of you guys that are fully crazy, go be part of it.
My thing is this, it's always been for everybody to make money so you don't have to ask me for money. You get what I'm saying? I'm talking about the people I fuck with. Like, if you look in the beginning, I made sure Jim Name was on videos directed. I wanted Juelz to have his own shit. Duke the guy, my cousin, like, you do all the mixtapes. You the A&R of the company. You manage the artists and everything. My thing is just to find a way to make sure the people around me made money, because if you don't, then it's gonna be like, let me hold something, which I don't mind that, but I'd rather you make your own than let me hold something. And to this day, everybody's just able to survive on their own. You know, people be like,
niggas be thinking you they accountant. For real. You get niggas the money and then they wow the fuck out. They want to buy 4 cars at a time. They want to go move to Alpine, New Jersey. These niggas want to have a 17,000 square foot house. You know, they want to have 16 chains. And then when they go broke, these niggas be like, Cam or something.
So you rap hustling? I'm rap hustling, man. Like, for real though, like, coming out the house with nothing, like, 60, 70,000, like, in 2 days, like, for real. And I ain't taking nothing, I'm taking anything, 5,500. You could probably got a son for me from $100 for $100 while I was getting millions of views, bro. That's how much I was rap hustling. Like, I'm at the studio, man. You ain't leaving with no money, man. You ain't leaving with no, you ain't leaving no money on the ground. I ain't leaving nothing on the table, bro.
I know the reason you want to give me this money, and I know what I got going on and plan. Any business, bruh, that runs and operate and make millions of dollars, millions of millions, you know what I mean, for real deal, bro, you got a schedule. You know what you got going on for the next damn near 12 months.
Yes, you do.
You know what I mean? So you already calculating and knowing what you finna do, and like this what you do. So it's like, okay, you doing this based off of what happened, nigga, yesterday already. And all the past.
Right.
You don't know what's going on right now today. You don't know what my team working on right now. You don't know what I'm finna drop. You don't know the artist I just signed. You don't know shit. So what you do know is, oh, I'm doing a hell of a job and I'm at where I'm at right now.
Right.
But if I was stuck and didn't know where the hell going on with all the shit, like, well, this ain't that. Like, nigga, hey, damn, this they want to give me this right now. I'm gonna wait, hold on. Let me let them see the rest of this shit that we already got playing. Me and my team finna go crazy with, and let them really see, like, hey, guess what? It's gonna keep going up. Know what I mean? Everything for sale. I'm gonna cash it when it's time to cash it.
Mentality to where it's like just fuck everything. I believe in myself. And even when shit don't work out, I be cool with it because I learned from whatever didn't work out. I know what not to do the next time. I ain't never been a nigga that complained or pointed the finger at other people when shit don't work out for myself. I be cool with whatever the outcome is. I appreciate everything that I got. I'm a hustler. You know what I'm saying? Whatever work. Whatever don't work, it don't work. But I ain't never been in no position and I could have felt like that, but I just didn't. Ain't nothing ever made me feel like fuck this shit. If I ever felt like fuck this shit, it's because I wanted to feel like that, but I just didn't want to feel that way. Nobody never made me put myself down to the point where I'm ready to quit anything. You know what I mean? And the shit not easy, the shit hard. This shit take a lot of money. It take a lot of patience. You know what I'm saying? They gotta be like mad consistent with this shit. Only thing I don't like is like having the friendly part, having to be like super duper friendly and tap in with so many people and be so close with so many different guys. Like I just wasn't with that part. So I always try to skip over that part of shit and just do shit my way and if the shit take time, it take time. Whatever worked for me, it worked. Whatever don't work, it don't work. But I pick it up, I keep moving, I learn from my mistake. But I don't complain about nothing. 4 years old, and I was 25 when I opened up the car wash, the restaurant, and down the street, I had the very first dispensary in our neighborhood ever. It was called Dank Guys. Follow up with Drink Guys type shit. At the time, right, you know, I had a bunch of money. I had a shitload of money. I didn't know what to do with it. And my mindset back then was just flex, 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 flex. Everything I did back then, that shit was all for the look. So I'm gonna be honest with y'all. These businesses was successful. However, they did not succeed because I got in it for the wrong reasons. My heart wasn't in it. I did that shit just to say, look at me, I'm 25 and I own 3 different businesses in the same hood I grew up in. The car wash. Because I learned a lot about myself. I learned a lot about a lot of shit. You know, I was able to check myself and really dive deeper into how I move as a man and as a person, period. You know what I'm saying? That shit brought, everything came full circle for me after prison because I went at life with a whole new mindset, with a whole new mentality. You know what I'm saying? So that was just in my experience. Man, you know what I'm saying? On the east side, Exotic City. I be trying to have as many businesses as possible all at one time, just to have like multiple streams of income. I don't want this shit just off rap music, you know what I'm saying? So much money in the world, bro, like nigga ain't gotta do nothing illegal. It don't make sense, we ain't got to. You know, you get a good idea, you apply some pressure behind that shit, you never know what's gonna work. Again, I didn't expect that juice bar to work like the way it's working, but that shit it's overworking. You know what I'm saying? The turnout is great on that, so you know, I always been like an entrepreneur in my heart. I always wanted to do shit like this. Even back in the 8th grade, gang, I bought my first car when I was 12 years old. You know what I mean? Selling candy and shit at school, like that type of bag. So, you know, we got the hookah spot. Is the shit that I used, that I tried before that didn't work, I tried it again. Now that I can afford to try it. For instance, like businesses and shit like that. I got a lot of failed businesses. A whole lot of them motherfuckers. A lot of that shit didn't work. But when I got some paper, I tried it again and then it did work. You know what I'm saying? Wife, we 50-50 on everything. And I'm not saying financially, it's the shit, the things she do and what she provide, I can't do it. It's a lot of shit that she do that I just can't do. You know, and she add a lot of value to me as a human and as a man, you know what I'm saying? She give me a lot of game. She give me a lot of insight about shit, and I provide the same shit for her as well. You know what I mean? She add balance for us as a family. I know I need her, you know what I'm saying? And I can't say she need me. I just know I need her. You know, when I popped up to our first location, our juice bar, Fresh and Press. Me and my wife on this. I bought this for my wife. This is something she genuinely love to do. She genuinely believe in this shit. This wasn't like a money grab for us. You know, my wife been doing this shit since we had our first baby, my daughter. You know what I'm saying? So everything up here organic, no additives in the fruit. We got real organic fruit, pause, all of that. You know what I'm saying? Vegan food, gluten-free, dairy-free, everything up here is health. You know what I'm saying? Health equals wealth. And we standing on that. We got a new location coming downtown on Griswold. Y'all get with it. Fresh and Pressed. And my baby one.
We're just discussing the other day. Damn, man. We really know how to make $1 million if we really, 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 really just had to. And just could say, to hell with everything and everybody. Not care about nothing or care about the repercussions. We could go get it. We were debating between 6 and 4 months, right? We were debating. But there's so much pain and heartache that comes with that as well. I try to look at myself as maturing. I try to look at myself as saying like, man, this is an opportunity. This is a better opportunity. This is like something that can like fix things for a lot of people. So you don't want to have to end up in the mix of risking your life, your freedom, and
I would say build a team. Build a team.
Okay.
You know, have short-term goals, not long-term goals for yourself and your team. Meaning like after 2 or 3 years, you should see some type of fruits of your labor or some type of movement. If not, change everything.
I heard that. That's important.
You know what I'm saying?
That's important.
Change everything.
Right.
For real. You know what I'm saying? Because it's gonna happen anyway. So whether you wait them 3 years or you could wait 300 years,
Right.
it's still gonna, you know, you prolonging a bad situation. You know, you prolonging an inevitable outcome.
Learn to move fast.
Yeah.
Move.
Build a team. Hold everybody accountable.
That's important.
Hold
Accountability.
everybody accountable, including yourself first. Hold everybody accountable. Build a team. You know what I mean? Put fire to the fire.
Yeah.
You know, don't let nobody that's just think they cool and that's all they got slide with you. Because that's not enough.
That ain't it. That ain't enough. That's not enough to get it done.
Like, what I'm supposed to say? No, you're not. And I'm like,
Right.
yeah. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
But I think for anybody that wants to get into business and wants their business to grow,
Yep.
they got to know that strategic marketing is necessary, right? So even if you own a mom and pop spot, or you got a shoe store or whatever, you hire people to market your product. And for people that don't know what that is, that's getting maximum visibility, right? So if somebody's marketing your shit, you want your shit to be everywhere. I want everybody to see me. I want motherfuckers to think that this is Foot Locker. You own a mom and pop shoe store, you want motherfuckers to compete with Foot Locker. Like, this is what the fuck I want to be. So you hire a strategic marketing team, you hire digital marketing, you hire people that can make sure your shit is seen everywhere you go. And that's what we did.
Yeah,
that's what I did with this project.
And
Like,
not
with
everybody would make that move. It was a different type of move, a smart move.
No, hell no. I'm like, so independently, I'm like, shit, we doing this all on our own. We have the budget to be able to afford the best of the best people would experience because of the money that we made off the last project.
Yes.
So naturally, I want to re-up. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We gonna take what the fuck we got. We gonna invest in the best team. Who the fuck them niggas at the label? Who they hire? Who do they get? We want to get them niggas they get. You get what I'm saying? Like that was the. So for motherfuckers to think that, you feel me, that
I was gonna say, how do you define success at this point then?
Man, I've never pulled wardrobe for a magazine shoot. Niggas
Really?
just shot GQ the other day. I just go out and buy clothes.
Wow.
My closet is nuts. For real.
Yeah.
Like, it's actually fucking ridiculous. Like, my closet is nuts. Well, motherfucker just send it for free and I just get free clothes or free whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, like, that's what independence looks like. Like, motherfucker, you see me wearing a chain, that's my chain. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You see me wearing some shit, a fit that costs $100,000, that's my shit.
Right.
So I don't really know. I don't really fake the funk. You know what I mean?
Be the best architect or nothing, but I can tell you how to blow up on social media. You gotta go every day. Every day. I don't care if it's TikTok, Instagram, whatever it is. Every single day I need to see you. If I don't, I'm on to the next. Viewers cheat. Viewers are the biggest cheaters. There's no loyalty in a viewer. If I don't see you every day, I'm gonna go fuck with somebody else. You get what I'm saying? Viewers are cheaters. You must stay consistent every single day. Okay?
About like if you love it, go out and practice. If you think you wanna, if you fall in love with it, you only can fall in love with the process. Don't worry about the outcome. Fall in love with the process, and that shit will take care of itself. So, super proud of
Like, what does success look like for you now at 40?
That's a great question, Steve. I mean, I think it comes down to like what does success means to me now, about inspiring the guys that's with you and the crew that's coming after you. You know, hoping that what you're doing and the tools and the DNA and the blueprint that you're doing while you're still playing and striving while you're doing that, it is going to trickle down to the generation that you're with and the generation that's coming in. You know, we've always heard the saying, like, leave the game in a better place than when you were in it. And that's what success for me. I hope I can inspire the next generation of great players, great athletes, not only in just basketball, but in sport in general, to what it means to take care of your body and, you know, keeping your mind fresh and understanding, like, being more driven by the process more than the actual ending goal. And then just trying to be great, or as great as you can, be squeezing as much juice out of yourself as you can and doing it because you're doing it for the love of the process and not what it brings, not what the sport brings you.
That's just more in our world. You know everybody that's supposed to know you.
Exactly.
Why would you worry about
who don't?
Because everybody else gonna fall in line because they only follow the big wigs. So when they see you rubbing shoulders with certain individuals, it's like, wait, damn, why didn't I take the time to figure out who he was?
There you go. Do you believe he's doing it?
I definitely, but I think he's definitely using it to sell the music, and that's the sad part about it.
Yeah, and not only that, and listen, I want him to get better too, but I'm gonna stop feeling sorry for niggas with money. Cause there's niggas with no money who getting evicted tomorrow. They don't got the rent money. Somebody died in their family, they can't pay for the funeral. Niggas gotta live in a projects where they don't like niggas on the other side of projects, niggas shooting on this side of projects, niggas up the block don't like niggas down the block. You gotta stay in that environment. Yeah, you can get on the flight and go anywhere. Well, I'm not gonna keep feeling sorry for niggas who could change their circumstances. It's niggas who stuck in certain circumstances who can't change their circumstances, but we steady giving pity to niggas who could change their environment. I'm not doing it. I hope my man get his rent money that he need because I gave it to him last month. Hopefully he'll get it again this month. It's situations like that. You know what I'm saying?
Like that situation or another situation that you seriously consider doing before just deciding like, no, we're going to do this our own way?
No, I never considered signing with anybody. I always knew I wanted to just do Taylor Gang and build my own way. I didn't know what it looked like, but I definitely knew that I had put myself up there with those guys as opposed to like being somebody like that they, and I love Ross, and that was like it was a huge compliment for him to want to sign me. But that was just the wrong time to try to do it because I was just so popping on my own.
Yeah, it was like, yo, like.
There's nothing that nobody could have done for me ever that I wasn't going to do for myself. And I was very self-aware of that. And it takes like a real person to tell you that, like, I love you, but you can't do more for me than I'm going to do for myself.
I saw you.
I don't get no money doing that shit, yo. I'm trying. It's way more money in being silky smooth.
Yeah,
so much more money in being silky. That's for pimping. That's for your workplace. It's way more money just being silky smooth with it, y'all. Now they ain't doing too much. The less said, the better.
Be to yourself. Stay to yourself. Trust nobody. Trust nobody. After dark.